Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, My Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. We love to have you. You know, you want to be here, just do it. Just do it. Do yourself a favor and just click the like button, click the subscribe button, and just come on back next time. So for today, we're going to be doing a kind of a tag video. And I just think I'm super into these here recently. It's just so much fun. And it's kind of a nice break from the tutorial slash inspo videos that I usually do. So we're going to go for it. Before we jump into what the tag is and what we're doing, I'm sure you guys have already seen from the thumbnail. Can we just talk about the fact that YouTube picks the absolute worst thumbnails for me? I don't know how to fix them. I'm trying to learn, but for right now, I'm just having to deal with the fact that YouTube likes to pick the absolute worst thumbnails for me ever. So yeah, there are sometimes, I know my light's changing, my white balance is completely and totally off. I'm going to try to stay pretty far away from the camera, but the lighting is probably not going to be great in this video. And I think it's because I have a darker colored shirt on, but I'm trying to match. So we're going to be doing a tag today, but this eye look, I'm so happy with. It is really beautiful. I did this kind of purple, smoky blue. It's so pretty. So this is what she looks like. I am so in love with it. I actually have the pictorial up over on my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama. I will have the link in the description box below. You guys can head on over there and check it out. So I've got pictures step by step on how to do this. I feel like pictorials are nice sometimes, especially when you don't have time to sit there and watch a video. You can just kind of look at the picture and it gives you step-by-step instructions. I, of course, will have all of the directions underneath in the description box of each picture, so make sure you go through it one by one. It's really straightforward, super quick to kind of get through, and it really does help. So if you're interested, it's over there. I used two different palettes to achieve this. First of which being the Moira You're Very Cute palette. You want to talk about the most beautiful, like simple purple palette you've ever seen in your life. This one is just absolutely stunning. So I used pretty much this entire row, and then I used this deeper blue. So yeah, pretty much this entire row. I used this deeper blue color and then a little bit of the black. And then I also used the BH Cosmetics Bubblegum palette. This was very kindly gifted to me by one of my friends over on Facebook. This is the BH Bubblegum palette. I don't think it's no longer available on the BH website, but I have heard that they're available at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, not online, only in store. So if you come across them, please pick one up. They are so yummy. So this is what the color story looks like. Really beautiful. I didn't really touch anything in here too much, but this is the shimmer that you see all over my lid. Really beautiful. I also went in with a little bit of a e.l.f. Liquid glitter shadow. I believe I used mine in the shade Disco. Let me see. In the shade, they're so tiny. Bling Bling. So that's what that looks like. I just took this on a eyeliner brush and just took it straight off of the doe foot applicator. Just kind of like this, and just kind of traced the outline of my cut crease, and it went on so beautifully and so perfectly. I've had this eye look on for a good long while now, and it is still very like beautifully vibrant and very much there. So the lasting quality on all of these products is insane. So I highly recommend both of these palettes. They're both absolutely beautiful. I love them to pieces. So the tag that we're doing today is the colorful makeup tag. Guys, I'm way late on this, but I think that this is going to be a super enjoyable video for all of us. I think it's going to be fun for me to film and fun for you guys to watch. And while I'm just kind of talking about all this stuff, I am going to be doing my base makeup so I can take some pictures and show this look off to the best of my ability anyway. I'm going to pin my hair back just a little bit. I actually am having a pretty good hair day today, which is rare. So we're going to try not to get any makeup in it, and we're just going to kind of go for it. I haven't primed or anything yet today. My hair is so dark. I haven't primed or anything yet today, so I'm going to use something that I haven't used in a good long while. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I have two different formulations. I have the original, and then I also have the Luminous. I'm going to use both of them today just because I haven't used them in, like I said, forever. I did go pretty much to town on this when I first got it, though. I did enjoy this quite a bit. It's got a really, really fun consistency to it. You don't need a ton of it. I'm just going to kind of paint this around the areas that my pores are the largest. And I'm just kind of tapping it and pressing it into the skin, hoping that it blurs and kind of disguises some of those giant pores and fine lines that I've got going on. I do like to put it right in between my brows as well. I've got some pretty gnarly scowl lines, so we're going to try to hide them today. And then my forehead wrinkles, they're just there. They're not going anywhere, but that's okay. I've made my peace with that. I don't really put this too much on the perimeter of my face, just because I find that I don't really need to. But I do like to take it up underneath my eyes a little bit. Just kind of pat that in. And really focus like around the cracks of my nose. Just like that. I used a ton of jewels on my face today as well. After I get my primer on, I will show you guys what I used. I got the biggest thing of like gemstones online. I got them from this is the Poreless Putty Primer. And this is the Luminous one. Very, very different. Whereas the Luminous one has more of like a pink kind of tone to it. This one is more like golden yellow. And if you can see on my finger, like there's actually kind of like a pearlescent golden reflect to it. And I'm just going to put this on my forehead. And then along my cheekbones, my nose, and my chin. And I'm just going to kind of press that in as much as I can. Try to smooth some of the texture up through here. My skin is not super, super textured, but I do have, again, fine lines. And I'm struggling right now with some like blackheads, like a blackhead situation. I actually got a mask in my BoxyCharm last month. It's the Teamy Green Tea Detox Mask. And oh my word, it is so good. I put that on and I guess it like purges your skin, because I'll use it and then for the next like 2 days, like everything that's in my skin will kind of like come to the surface. And then I kind of have like a day of breakouts, I guess. But then the next couple of days, my skin is so smooth and so soft and so clear. And it really helps with like blackheads and just like little bumps and stuff. And I get them the worst right through here for some reason, on both sides. I don't really have them on my nose or anywhere else on my face, but they are so bad just right through here. So I find that really, really helps. So while this primer just kind of sits on my face and settles for just a minute, I'll talk to you guys about the gems that I used today. So I get these off of Shein Beauty. It's Shein. It's fast fashion, but they're so affordable, guys. And I get this pack of, like, there's 1,000,001 rhinestones in here, and they're all different colors. See if I can show you guys. They're all different colors. Really, really beautiful. They're all different sizes as well. And I think I paid $6 for this, which is super, super affordable. You get a ton in here for $6. You cannot beat it. It is so, so nice. Plus, they have all kinds of coupons and stuff as well, so you can get it for even cheaper than that. And then the thing that I like about Shein Beauty as well is they have a flat rate of shipping, and I think it's only like $4, which is really, really affordable. I think I tried to place an order with, I was looking to place an order with Beauty Bay, because I really, really want the new palettes that they just came out with. They came out with a pink one, a green one, and like a bluey purple one. My birthday's coming up soon, guys. So, I'm just playing. I want to get them so, so badly, though. And I think I want the 16 pan palettes. I don't need the huge ones. I think they have like a 24. They have big ones, medium ones, and small ones. I had my eyes on the 16 pan palettes just because I thought that that was enough for me. And they're $11 a piece, which is actually really, really affordable. I've never been able to actually try the Beauty Bay formula, so I really want to get my hands on them. But their shipping was $6 a piece, and their minimum for free shipping is like $70, which is insane. So I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it a little bit more. Money's not, insanely, abundant at the moment. So we'll just have to keep thinking about it. But Shein Beauty, I really like the fact that they have all kinds of coupons. They usually have sales going on, not to mention that their stuff is super, super affordable to begin with. And then their shipping is only $4. And then you don't really have to worry about the minimum too much. So that primer has set on my skin for just a minute, and we're going to go ahead with the first question. So the first question in the colorful makeup tag is, when and why did you start wearing color? While I answer this question, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting just because I feel like with darker eyeshadow looks, I need the color correction just because it tends to make my under eye look darker than it is anyway. Especially when I wear purple, it tends to bring out the blue and purple tones in my under eyes anyway. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Correcting Concealer. Mine is in the shade Peach. Yeah, 402 Peach. It is really, really nice. It's a super, super light kind of corrector, and I really just keep it right here where my bags are the worst. And then I also picked up a neat little tip that I'm going to try for the first time with you guys today, and we will discover together if it actually works. I'm also going to do the sides of my nose and my upper lip. I have a pretty full upper lip, and a lot of times because I like to put highlighter there and really kind of emphasize that I have big lips, sometimes it'll give me a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to try and see if I can, not that I have a mustache or anything, but there is a little bit of darkness there just because of the shadow from my lip. So I'm going to see if I can really brighten that area and not get that shadow anymore. I'm going to go in and blend that out with just an e.l.f. concealer brush. And while I'm doing that, I will answer the question. So the question again was, why and where, when and why did you start wearing color? Now, I will say that I probably owe a lot of this, like a lot of the, I don't know, to my mother. My mother was never ever afraid of makeup. She is one of those women who never really came out of the 80s. She still to this day rocks the, I don't know, I haven't seen or spoken to her in a couple of years now, but last time I spoke to her, she, of course, was forever rocking like the leopard print and the big hair. And my mother, she would wear blue mascara and blue eyeliner and just like really go for it with her makeup. She was never afraid of like to wear bolder colors or anything like that. And I think a lot of that really, really came from her. She's very, very fearless when it comes to her fashion choices. She just honestly doesn't care what anyone else has to say. She's going to wear what makes her happy. And I believe that I got quite a bit of that from her. Because, of course, she was my role model growing up. And she was who I learned quite a lot from. Where I, my formative years were spent watching my mother do her makeup and be this crazy, loud kind of personality that she is. So that's where that came from. So there's the why. As of when, I would say that I've really always enjoyed color. But probably in the last, I want to say 2 years, when I really got into makeup, when lockdown first started. And I really got into makeup and I really just started to discover what it was that I enjoyed about makeup and what it was that I enjoyed, what made me happy. I will say that I found myself gravitating more towards the colorful makeup. And it's not because I don't enjoy a neutral look, because I do enjoy a neutral look from time to time. But for the most part, I feel like I get more of that expression and more of that, more joy. I get more joy from color than I do with... What was that? I find more joy when with color than I do with neutral tones. And again, that's just personal preference, to each their own, but I really do enjoy a nice, colorful, fun look. I feel like there are only so many ways that you can really express yourself. And of course I have my tattoos and I have my piercings and all of that, but I just wanted to take it a step further. And, you know, I want it to be different. And you don't see a lot of people really rocking bright purple eyeshadow or like, you know, guys, I wore this to the grocery store today. Just like this. I didn't have my base on or anything. And that's because you have to wear a mask everywhere you go. But y'all, I rocked this eye look to the grocery store and I got compliment after compliment after compliment. Just because somebody wouldn't wear it on their own, on their self, doesn't mean that they can't appreciate the beauty and doesn't mean that they can't appreciate the look on someone else. So I don't mind being that someone else. And I don't mind being the one that's unafraid to rock a bright purple rhinestoned eye look. It just makes me happy and it makes me feel different. So I picked up this tip from Nikki Tutorials. She's the one who kind of said when you're really trying to color correct, if you're using a cream color corrector, to set it with a little bit of powder before you go in with your base makeup, just to make sure that it doesn't really move around on you. I have not tried this in particular, this trick yet, but so today's going to be our first time together, but I'm hoping that it really works, especially with this darker eye look. I'm really hoping that it helps to brighten my under eye just a little bit. Now I didn't go very heavy either on the powder or the color corrector, just because I don't think I need it. I used a very, very light color corrector. I also have another of the same exact color corrector. This one is in the shade orange though. So the peach one is for fairer skin tones and the orange one is for darker skin tones or darker discoloration, I would assume. I do use this on, you know, some days when it's just really, really bad. I haven't got enough sleep, I'm dehydrated, all that good stuff. But for the most part, I find the peach one to be plenty for me. Now we're going to go in with a little bit of foundation. Now for foundation today, I wasn't exactly sure what I really wanted to go in with. I have really been liking, I've been liking mixing foundations lately. So I've been using this mixture, which is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 with a little bit of the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. And then I also really like this this mixture. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh with a little bit of the Colorstay, Revlon Colorstay Full Cover. Oop, trying to throw stuff at myself. But this is a really, really fantastic full coverage combination. I love this. This is super, super matte, super, super full coverage. But I find it's super, like, really kind of drying on my skin. Looks very powdery, tends to emphasize things that I don't want to be emphasized. So I found that by mixing this one with something like this, which is much lighter coverage, more hydration focused, that they really kind of even each other out and are really, really pretty together. But unfortunately, this combination is really, really light. And as we're coming into summer and I'm starting to use a little bit more of like the self-tanner, I've been using self-tan drops on my face. So I have a little bit of color going on. So when I use that combination, it just looks very, very ghostly on me. So I'm gearing more towards the Milani and the e.l.f. So I think that's what we're going to use today. Let me put my hair back. And we will talk about the next question. The next question is, what is your favorite color to wear? Guys, there's so many. There are so many beautiful colors out there. It's really, really difficult to just pick one and be like, oh yeah, this is my favorite color. If you were to ask me just like what my favorite color is, period, which I know is a different color, but I'm going to different question, but I'm going to answer it anyway. I'm going to take 1 pump of the e.l.f. mixed with 1 pump of the Milani. And this should be plenty for me. Now the Milani is a little bit light for me as well. This is shade 00AA Ivory. And then in the e.l.f., this one is too dark for me. This is medium 375 neutral. So I'm mixing 1 pump of each, and it should give me a pretty spot on kind of color match. Probably still going to be just a little bit dark, but I can fix that with a little bit of concealer, and I don't mind my face being a little bit darker than the rest of me anyway. I usually like to go for a little bit of a tan, kind of bronzy look anyway. I'm not going to go super full coverage today either. I do want a nice even kind of tone, but I'm not going for like super full coverage. I'm just going to kind of blend this out and see where it goes. And of course, we'll add more if we need more, but I don't think that I will. I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques Beauty Blender and just use the flat side to just pounce this all over my face and get a nice even coverage. I find that the Milani on its own is a little bit heavy for my taste. It's really beautiful coverage and it's a beautiful foundation, but I find it to be, I don't want to say cakey because cakey is such a, ooh, this is dark. This is really, really dark. I think I need a little bit more of the Milani. Yeah, I kind of underestimated how orange that e.l.f. was going to be. That is super, super orange. You live and you learn. But on its own, the Milani is just a little bit heavy for me. But I like the coverage. And I also like the e.l.f. CC cream because I find it to be nicely long wearing on me. As well as, oh, it's so dark. It's so dark. I'll just blend it down my neck and we'll be okay. But I like the way that it lays. And I like the way that it wears on my skin better. So I'm hoping by combining both of them, will kind of give me that perfect in-between of longevity and like nice wear. It is so, so orange. That's okay though. We're just going to ignore how dark this foundation is and we're just going to focus on the questions. Let's make sure I blend it down my neck, like all the way down my neck. Okay, so the question was, what is your favorite color to wear? So if we're just talking about what my favorite color is in general, I'm going to say like orange or coral, a mixture of the two. Coral is by far my favorite color, followed very closely by orange and pink. I'm very basic that way. I love a good pink. I love a good like orangey color. But I think coral is kind of the best of both worlds because it's not quite orange, but it's not quite pink. It's a mixture of the two and it's absolutely stunning. It's actually my favorite blush color. I have all kinds of clothes in that really beautiful like corally color. So that's my favorite color to wear for like clothes. But I would say that my favorite color to wear for makeup is green. I love green. It used to be pink and then it was purple. I still love a good purple eye look. I still love a good pink eye look. But for the most part, the kind of eyeshadow color that brings me the most joy here recently is green. And in particular, both the Absinthe palette from BH Cosmetics and the QBB Friends from Moira. They are my absolute favorite green palettes like of all time. So, so beautiful. So, so easy to work with. Just beautifully like... And I love all kinds of green. I love everything from that like khaki army green to bright, bold neon greens. I love pastel green. I love mint green. ColourPop makes a couple of really, really beautiful monochromatic green palettes. First of which being, I think it's Aura and Out. And then the second of which being Mint to Be. Both absolutely gorgeous green palettes. They're not too similar to each other either. One leans more pastel and then the other leans more, minty. They're both pretty pastel, but the R and Out, and I would say is probably more like blue-green than it is green, but they're both really, really beautiful. So yes, I love green. Green would probably be my #1 eyeshadow color to wear, followed very closely by coral. The next question is, what is your go-to color combo? Oh, okay. So this is a great question. My go-to color combination. So I really, really love a pink and peach look together. I think it is so, so beautiful. I think pink and peach work so, so beautifully off of each other. When you pair it with when you pair a really beautiful, like especially like a beautiful hot pink, like hot neon fiery Barbie pink color, when you pair it with this beautifully toned down peachy nudie kind of almost corally color, they work so beautifully together. And then depending on the peach color that you pair, depending on the tones of the colors that you pair together, it pulls out so many beautiful, beautiful undertones. I think it is so, so pretty. Another one of my favorites is absolutely green and yellow. I love a good like khaki and mustard. Khaki and mustard to me are a match made in heaven. I think they're so, so beautiful. I don't know how long it's going to take me to blend out this foundation because we're going to run out of questions and I'm not going to be done with my base. But I just want to make sure that we're nicely blended and that I don't look like I'm 5 different colors because that's never a cute look. I want to make sure I really blend it down my neck, get my ears. I usually wear my hair down, but you still got to get your ears anyway. So what did I say? I said pink and peach, and then mustard and khaki. Really, really gorgeous. I also, it's probably going to blow your mind, I also really love blue and brown. I think blue and brown are such an underrated color combination, especially to color lovers. I feel like people who are more into the neutrals really understand that the combination of blue and brown can be so useful. But to people who are more focused on color, for the most part, we just kind of, neutral combinations tend to fall on the wayside. But I am telling you, blue and brown are so stunning together. You can do a cool toned brown with blue, but you can do a like warm toned camel-y color with blue, and it is so gorgeous. It is so pretty. One of the prime examples of palettes that I think really kind of embodies that is the OPV Spotlight palette. Really gorgeous. It's basically a warm toned neutrals palette, but it's got all these beautiful pops of like bright blue and green in there, and it is so stunning. Another good representation of that color story is the LA Colors Pro Artistry palette. So it's pretty much like a neutral slash kind of leaning cool toned brown neutrals palette, but then they have these beautiful blue shimmers in there that really make the palette pop. They're so gorgeous. Oh, it's so good. I use that palette quite often. So yes, my top 3 would be pink and peach, mustard and khaki, and brown and blue. Really beautiful. And I feel like those color combinations are also super flattering on a ton of different skin tones, and super easy tones to work with as well. So you don't really have to be super practiced or really know what you're doing to be able to work with those color combinations, because not only do they look just effortlessly beautiful together, but they also blend and work really well and really easily with each other. Blending a blue into a brown is super easy. Blending a green into a yellow is really easy as well, because blue and yellow make green. Somehow they just work really easy together, and they just blend effortlessly. Same with the pink and the peach. Pink is, the basis for peach. You add a little bit of yellow in there, and then you've got orange. It's all about color theory. So usually the colors that work the best together are colors that are pretty close to each other on the color wheel. And that's just how I look at it. But they're so pretty. So yes, that is my answer to that question. The next question is, who are your favorite influencers to follow that inspire you? Now, I really was thinking about this question before I started filming this video, because I watch so much YouTube. I'm always like researching and always trying to figure out what videos to make and what's trending. And there's a lot that goes into making YouTube videos. And I don't think people really realize how much research actually goes into making a video. But I do watch quite a few influencers just to kind of try to stay up to date on what's going on and who's doing what and what's trending, just like I said. But I will say that my favorite ones to watch as of right now, and I have different reasons for watching all of these people. So the first one I want to talk to you guys about is Nikki Tutorials. Nikki Tutorials is an absolutely beautiful person, both inside and out. I don't pretend to know her in any kind of intimate manner at all whatsoever. We're not friends. We've never met. But just the way that she portrays herself, her strength, the things that she's overcome, and how successful she is, because she is uber successful. She has made YouTube not only a career, but it is her mission. She just dominates, and she dominates pretty much everything that she touches. So it's really nice. And I think that if you were to really want to emulate anybody on this platform, she definitely is that person. Not only that, but her talent is just pretty much unrivaled. She can pick up anything and really just make magic with it. She does a lot of different challenge videos and things like that. and always rocks it. She's just kind of unstoppable and really, really somebody I would like to be as much like as possible. The next one I want to talk about is, who do I like? I like, Courtney Hollins. Now, she is center of attention makeup artistry. She's an Aussie. She is foul-mouthed. She, much like me, I am a big potty mouth, especially when I'm not on YouTube. I try to keep my channel pretty PG for the most part, but y'all, I cuss like a sailor. It's absolutely terrible. I drop the F-bomb every other word. I have to catch myself so many times when I'm sitting here making these videos, because it'll just want to fly out of my mouth, and it's hard to control. But she doesn't care. So I really, really love her. Not only that, but she, again, is extremely talented. She does more of like the special effects makeup. She uses a lot of props. She uses a lot of paint, and things of that nature. But she actually is the one that I learned quite a bit of what I do from. She actually has not master classes. She has a book that teaches you what you need to know. She has classes online. She's just really kind of fantastic. And the way that she works with colors and makes it seem so easy and so approachable is really kind of fantastic. So I love her. I love Nikki Tutorials. I also really love, everybody loves Bailey Sarian. Though I do feel like I resonate more with her earlier work than I do the things that she does now. Not to say that I don't like what she's doing now, but the eye looks and the makeup that she goes for now are much more subdued and much more neutrals based, whereas the makeup that she used to do was much more fun and much like brighter, colorful, like grungier kind of makeup, which I learned a lot from her as well. But, I think that the makeup she does now is still absolutely beautiful, but I do prefer her earlier work to the work that she does now. Another one is, Teresa is Dead. I really, really love her. Not that she is like much of an artist, and that's not a diss. She will tell you so herself. She is not much of a makeup artist, but she is very, very knowledgeable, and she knows exactly what she likes and what she doesn't. So for her, I usually go for more of that, like what's good and what's not, because I really kind of trust her judgment. So she is really, really good for that. She also is very much into the multi-chrome, indie brand kind of scene. And that's something that I don't get to dabble in as much as I wish that I could, just because, money being a factor and accessibility, I don't have it. But I do get to live vicariously through her and all of the things that she purchases. Y'all, she spends so much freaking money on makeup. It's absolutely insane. But I love to watch her do it. She really takes her time and really makes sure that she knows exactly what she's talking about. And she's very, fully versed in the product before she tries to do a review. She doesn't, I want to say, half-ass anything. So that's really, really nice. Another one that I really enjoy but watching is... I'm trying to pick out the biggest ones and the ones that I'm the most excited for. Everybody loves Tati. Everybody loves Tati. I don't really go to Tati for inspiration. I would say the people that I really go to the most for inspiration would be Courtney Hollins and Angelica Nyqvist. She's absolutely fantastic as well. Not that she really does tutorials, but she does know her way around the color wheel, and she is fairly fearless when it comes to, she's down to try anything at least once. So she will pretty much just, like I said, she'll just about try anything. And I like the way that she puts colors together. I think it's really, really nice. And I did say Tati Westbrook, Mr. Daddy. Mr. Hubby was like, Tati. He likes Tati too. I really, really enjoy Tati. I just like the way Tati speaks. I just like how comforting and soothing she is. I just find her voice and her kind of overall, not so much here recently. I feel like recently she's been a little bit hateful, and she's been a little bit hard on brands, and which is completely her right. She's been in this game for so long now. I'm sure she's probably just fed up with just having to be nice, and I completely understand. I don't think that she's ever spiteful just to be spiteful, but I do think that she doesn't try so hard anymore to be nice and kind of mince her words. She says exactly what's on her mind. Another one that I really, really enjoy, I just had it in my brain and I just lost it. Don't you hate it when that happens? So I just took, while I'm trying to figure out who I want to talk to you guys about next, I just used the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This is in the shade Cashew. Walnut. So I like mine in the shade Walnut, especially when I'm doing like a little bit of a darker foundation. This is the most fantastic cream bronzer you've ever used in your life. I love this so much. I just kind of dot it around the perimeter of my face and then blend it out with my sponge. It blends effortlessly. It's such a beautifully like natural kind of bronzer on me. I love it so much. I take it around the perimeter of my perimeter of my face, and then I take teeny little bit, and I like to contour my nose with it as well. I do just a little bit of a contour. I don't like a super dark contour, and I don't like a super obvious nose contour either. I like kind of like a dark, obvious contour here to really kind of sculpt out my face. But when it comes to the nose contour, I like it to be just a little bit more subtle. And I like to take it and kind of buff it up into the beginning of my eyebrow and into the contour of my eye, just so that everything looks nice and connected and everything looks nice and natural. I do not like a natural eye, but when it comes to doing my base makeup, I really want my base to look as natural as I can possibly make it. I'm not one of those women who really enjoys wearing like a mask of makeup. It's not really my thing. I like more of like a natural kind of coverage. Medium coverage is my favorite, which I feel like is what this is. I would say this is medium, kind of leaning on the fuller spectrum, but that's just because I used so much of the Milani to compensate for how dark the e.l.f. was. But usually I don't wear this much makeup. I let my skin kind of be my skin, and then I just kind of enhance it where I can. I like to take this LA Colors brush. This is an no, this is not. This is a Juno & Co. I get the two mixed up because I do have an LA Colors brush that I really, really love for nose contouring as well. Let me see if I can find it because they do look very, very, very similar. Where are you? Where did you go? Okay, I can't find it. And I'm not going to waste the time trying to look for it, but it looks very, very much like this one. This is the Juno & Co. ES06. It's just a thin, kind of fluffy, flat brush, but it's perfect for nose contour. It's nice and teeny tiny and really works perfectly for right there. I'm also going to go over that with my sponge and just make sure everything is nice and blended and we don't have any harsh lines on the side of my nose. Just like that. So now my nose looks nice and contoured, but it looks very natural. And it looks more like shadow than it does like an actual nose contour. It's really, really nice. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this cream contour. This is from She Glam. This is my favorite cream contour right now. This is the Sun Sculpt Liquid Bronzer in the shade Soft Tan. This is the most, if you have fair skin, this is the most perfect like contour color. It's gray, guys. And that's really what you want. When it comes to contour, you really want that kind of gray tone so that it comes across like a shadow and not like a bronzer. And I think this is perfect. I do think that this is best used with a brush. I like to use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. This is a domed, very, very dense kind of foundation brush. And I just kind of stipple it on. It blends out super, super easily. But it gives me that shadow effect that is so important to like a good contour. It blends out super, super easily. Just kind of tap my brush over top of it. And it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It gives me just that little bit of shadow and that little bit of like cool tone in with the bronzer that really makes it seem like a very convincing contour. So that's really, really nice. Okay, so the next question is, what do family and friends think of your colorful makeup style? Ooh, child. Okay. Honey pie. I don't really speak to anybody in my family anymore. The last time I spoke to my brother, he told me that my makeup would be more at home in a circus tent than a magazine, which was crushing. and I haven't spoken to him since. There's more to that story, but we're not going to go into it. So yeah, my brother doesn't like it. My parents I don't really speak to, but when they do try to message me on Facebook, my mother, it's usually my mother, and she's usually telling me that she thinks I look beautiful. So that's nice. So I guess my mom kind of approves of it. And my sister, I don't think she really cares. She is more of, I don't think she really cares. She just doesn't care about makeup. It's never really been her thing, and which is completely fine. I don't do makeup for anybody but myself, so I don't really need, them to applaud my efforts. But no, I wouldn't say that anybody is really super encouraging about it, but like I said, I do it for myself and not for anybody else, so that's fine. It's completely fine. The next question is there a color that you're looking for with a perfect formula? There 100% is. Totally 100%. Definitely is. I am on the hunt for not only the perfect like crimson. I'm looking for like the perfect, not only crimson matte, but crimson shimmer. I just want that fully opaque, just like in your face, blood red, melted rubies, kind of just, kind of shimmer. And then I really want that beautifully, like, I feel like the hardest thing with a red matte is they're either super, super dry, and because reds, unfortunately, are hard to formulate, and the pigments that they use to make a red eyeshadow are usually drier anyway. So it can make them hard to work with. It can make them hard to blend and be very, very dry and almost chalky. So there's that. And a lot of times when they do kind of almost get it right, as soon as you blend it out, it looks more pink than it does red. So I'm 100% on the hunt for that perfect crimson, shimmer and matte formula. And then silver. I have been on the hunt for the perfect melted metal silver for as long as I've been into makeup. I have gotten pretty close to it a couple times. There is one shade in the Revolution We Are Love palette that I keep right here on my desk. So this one right here, this one is really, really pretty. Not quite that like melted silver, like melted metallic that I'm really looking for, but it is a really, really beautiful shimmer, and it does work. I'm looking for something that's just got a little bit more of a body to it. This formula is a little bit thin for my liking, and it's a little bit more sheer than I would like it to be. There's also a silver in the, I think it's a BH Cosmetics palette, and I think it is the Galaxy palette. It's a baked eyeshadow, and it's pretty good too. But all in all, I haven't found one that just kind of like makes my heart skip and like really gets my motor running. So that is one that I have been on the lookout for a very, very long time, and just unfortunately haven't come across that perfect one yet. If you guys know of one, please let me know in the comments below. I would love, love, love to try out any suggestions that you may have. And when it comes to a silver shadow, it's one of those ones that I will buy a palette just for that silver shadow, just to see if it's really that silver that I'm looking for. I feel like gold is really, really easy to do. There's a million golds that are absolutely stunning, but silver, people don't really think about silver. I'm also on the hunt for that really beautiful kind of gray color, silver and gray, and they're cooler tones, and I feel like they're just not super, super in demand, so companies don't really make them. But that pure, beautiful, melted metallic silver is just, it's kind of like my holy grail. And I will be on the search for that probably for a good long while still. The next question is, would you rather wear a neutral lip with a colorful eye or vice versa? Guys, we already know the answer to this question. I'm going to go ahead and set my face really quickly so that we can move on with the makeup application. I don't know what I'm going to use to set my under eye. I don't want to use this one, but it's the only powder that I have on me at the moment. I'm probably going to regret this. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. This is not my favorite under eye setting powder. My favorite one is the Maybelline Lasting Fix banana powder. I think it is so, so good and so, so perfect for setting the under eyes. It adds just a touch of coverage, but it also brightens and it makes my under eyes look nice and smooth. Whereas this, I just don't feel like is the best under eye powder ever. I feel like the luminosity in this powder tends to exaggerate a little bit of my texture, and it doesn't lend itself to making my under eyes quite as smooth as I would like them to be. So I'm just taking literally what's in the cap and just kind of swirling my brush in here. This is the e.l.f. highlighting brush. It's just a tapered brush, and I feel like it's perfect for setting the under eye and really pressing that powder in. And I'm going to very, very lightly powder my under eyes and then set the rest of my face. I do feel like it's really nice for the rest of the face, but on the under eyes, I find that it tends to look just a little bit crepey and a little bit dry, and it kind of exaggerates texture. So not my favorite under eye powder. I also really, really enjoy the Hard Candy Wonder Powder. That stuff is amazing as well. It is a really, really beautiful under eye setting powder. It's nicely moisturizing. The only thing I can think of for it to be a dupe for would be the Becca Hydra Mist, or the Becca, you know, that Becca hydrating powder. The Hard Candy one has like a cooling effect on the skin. It literally feels like you're like brushing like menthol, like powdered menthol on your skin. Not super intense or anything like that, but it has a definite like cooling sensation. It's really a fantastic powder. Also, it never looks heavy or crepey on my skin. It really is just so wonderful. Super affordable as well because it's hard candy, and very, very accessible. I get mine from Walmart. It's just really easy to get a hold of. Well, it was until recently, and then the last couple of times I've gone to the store to re-up on it, it hasn't been there, and I'm hoping that they haven't stopped carrying it, because if they stop carrying it, I'm going to be so sad, because I'm almost out of it, and I really do like to wear that one, especially when I'm going out. It tends to extend the wear time of my makeup in a really nice way. And really just overall helps keep my skin looking hydrated and fresh and not cakey. I feel like caking is like my worst enemy, especially if you have dry skin. It's so easy for powder, any kind of powder, to cake on your skin because your skin just wants to suck the moisture and suck the life out of everything. So I just used that e.l.f. halo powder all over my face. My face is nicely set. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look especially great under my eyes, but I used such a tiny amount of it under my eyes that I'm not too worried about it. But it does do a really beautiful job of setting the rest of the face. It gives you this kind of slight luminosity to your skin so you don't look flat and matte all over the place. You still have a little bit of dimension and shine going on. So I do enjoy it, just not my favorite under the eyes. It's not a bad powder by any means, just not my favorite under eye setting powder. So the question was, would I rather wear a colorful eye and a nude lip, or a nude lip or a nude eye and a colorful lip? I am all for a statement lip. You guys know this. I love a good like bright, I'm going to actually wear a bright purple lip today. We're just going to go matchy. We're just going to go for it. I'm going to wear one of the LA Girl Cosmetics velvet matte lipsticks, if I can find it. It's right here. I'm going to wear this one. This is the LA Girl Matte Flat Velvet Lipstick. It's this one. It is the perfect color. This is in the shade, what shade are you, baby doll? You are in the shade Giggle, which is so cute. I love the name. It's perfect. It is the perfect color. So we're going to use that one today. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do a little bit of bronzing and a little bit of blushing and get some color back on my face. So like I said, definitely I would rather wear a colorful eye and a nude lip, even though for the most part I usually go for color and color together. I just feel like, why not? There are no rules when it comes to makeup. You do what makes you happy. I do what makes me happy. If you prefer to do a beautifully neutral eye look and then wear a beautifully neutral nude lip with it, that is an absolutely stunning look as well. To each their own. But for me personally, I would prefer to really kind of concentrate the color and the focus on my eyes. My lips, I have pretty nice lips naturally anyway. I've never had filler or anything like that, y'all. This is homegrown, corn-fed, just run-of-the-mill kind of lips, but I do have nice, pouty, full lips. So I find that I don't really need to emphasize my lips that much, so I'm much more okay with using a super neutral kind of nude lip or whatever. And then I don't really have to worry about like contouring my lips or anything like that either. But I do find that, you know, I enjoy having a very nice, bright, bold, super colorful eye look on. I find that it kind of, I stand out from the crowd a little bit more. And it just makes me happier. So yes, there's the answer to that question. I would definitely 100% rather have a bright eye and a nude lip. So the next question is, what is your opinion on glitter? I'm for it. I am all for glitter. I love a good glitter. You know, I used to not really be into pressed glitters or things of that nature. I'm going to go into the Moira Chic Mood blush palette, and I'm going to go into this one right here. I don't think that they have, does this have shade names? So this one is called for Posh, I believe. It's this really beautiful kind of like dark maroony kind of color, and I'm going to take that on. I'm going to take it very, very lightly because these are insanely pigmented. I'll swatch it for you. They're buttery smooth, really, really beautiful, but very, very pigmented. I'm going to take this e.l.f. angled blush brush and just very, very lightly kind of tap into here, and I'm going to start up here. Look, you can already see that color on my skin. I'm just going to start tapping it and stippling it onto my face. I like to focus most of my color up here to help lift and thin out my face. And then I just kind of, using very gentle pressure and small buffing motions, just kind of pull it in towards the center of my face. But I do like to keep my blush pretty high. And I don't like to bring it in too awful far either. I bring it in just far enough so that when I'm looking straight at you, you can still see the color. But I have very, very full cheeks, so I really don't need to make my face look rounder than it already is. So by keeping it up here and keeping it nice and high, it lengthens my face and slims it out just a little bit. So I'm not, you know, I don't look like I have those big chipmunk cheeks. Kind of hides that for me just a little bit. I love this color. I think it's so, so pretty as well. Really, really easy to blend and work with. And I'm just kind of adding it. I do find that I enjoy a nice blushy look here recently. So I'm going a little bit heavy on the blush, but blush is also one of those things that's kind of the first thing to fade off of your face. So when you do your makeup, you just go a little bit heavier on it. And that way it should last you throughout the day. Doing the same thing on the other side of my face, just kind of stippling it on. And then I'll go back with circular buffing motions and kind of move the powder a little bit closer to the center of my face. What was the question again? What is your opinion? Oh, I'm all for glitter. I love glitter. Like I was saying about the pressed glitter, I used to be kind of against it. I thought it was kind of a waste of space. But the more I get into like artistic looks and the more I become comfortable with using makeup and become comfortable with my ability to apply certain things, I find that glitter is an absolutely beautiful, wonderful, amazing tool. I love glitter. I love a good chunky glitter. I love a good, very, very finely, like, feeny little glitter. I love everything in between. I love a mixture of the two. I actually have really been into, like, the big, chunky glitters that you have to glue to your face. I actually have this one that I got from, are you closed? Yes. So I got this one from Shop Miss A. This was $1. And it's just like a glitter wheel, but it's got all kinds of different chunky glitters in it. There are hearts and stars and clovers and all kinds of good stuff. And y'all, these come so much in handy, especially when you're trying to do something that's just a little bit different. And for $1, you really can't beat it. It's one of those things that you think, oh, well, I'm not going to order it because I'll never use it. But I guarantee you the minute that it's in your possession, you will use it. You will find yourself reaching for it much more often than you think you will. It's one of those things that is convenient. Like, it is very convenient to have in your arsenal, just because instead of having, you know, it adds that little spark. It adds that little dash of specialness to any kind of look and really kind of adds pizzazz. They're really, really beneficial to have in any kind of makeup repertoire, just because they're, I mean, like I said, you will use them. I know you don't think that you will, but the minute you get it and the minute like you order it and have it in your hand, you will find yourself finding ways to incorporate it into your looks, because not only do they photograph really, really beautifully, but they just, like I said, they just add that special little pop to your makeup that really just kind of distinguishes it from everything else and makes it so, so special. I want a little bit of a sheen on my cheeks as well. So I'm going to go into this shade right here. My son actually dropped this and it shattered everywhere. So I kind of pressed it back into the pan. One of the best things about the Moira Shimmer formula though, is they've got a nice amount of moisture to them. So they're pretty easy to kind of press back into the pan and make, you know, do what you want them to do. So I'm going to go in just with this big fluffy brush and go into this really beautiful, like peachy. This is such a beautiful shimmer anyway. I love shades like this. They're so, so pretty. It is gorgeous. And it's super pigmented though. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush and kind of swirl it on the back of my hand. And then I'm just going to use it as a blush topper, just to give my face a little bit of that extra sheen. And it is super, super reflective, which is why I'm making sure to kind of tap it off on the back of my hand, or else it's going to look like I just, you know, spread highlighter all over my cheek. But it does give the face like this beautiful, like natural, healthy glow. So, so pretty. I'm also going to take a little bit and put it on my chin. And then a little bit on each side of my forehead, just to make sure everything's nice and uniform. It gives my face that like really beautiful glow, just because I feel like this my base looks a little bit matte right now and a little bit flat, so we're going to add some shine wherever we can. I'm going to go in with a little bit of highlight now, and then while I do that, I will answer our last question. So the last question is, what is your go-to colorful palette? And I feel like this is kind of a loaded question. And the reason I say that is because how can you have just one like go-to colorful palette? Especially with the trend right now, I'm going to go in with the Ace Beauté Glow Palette. I have been absolutely loving this thing since I got it in my BoxyCharm. I'm going to go into the shade Glowing. And I like to mix it with the shade Icy. These two right here. And I find that it makes for an absolutely blinding highlight. I'm going to put this right here on the highest points of my cheek. And like I said, this is a pretty loaded question, especially with the trend of monochromatic palettes being as big as it has been, especially like the last couple of years. I find that brands are really coming out with Colorstay like one-tone or two-tone based palettes. So it makes it really, really difficult to pick just one, because there are so many that are so beautiful in so many different, you know, variations. But if I had to pick a couple, because there's no way I can just pick one. If I had to pick a couple, my absolute favorite purple palette would be the one that I used today, the Moira. This is the Moira You're Very Cute palette. This is an absolutely stunning, stunning purple palette. Though there also is the Norvina Volume 5. That is absolutely beautiful as well. But I don't find that to be more of a colorful palette. I find that to be a neutral palette with a couple of really beautiful purple pops. Because if you look at that palette, it's really full, more so of like mauvey neutrals and like neutral shimmers than it is anything else. And then if we're talking about orange, let's see, what's my favorite orange palette? I think my favorite monochrome palettes are from Moira, because from Moira you have the Oh My Peelings palette, which is the most beautiful, stunning orange palette you've ever seen in your life. ColourPop makes a couple of really, really good ones. If we're talking about a rainbow palette, I really, really enjoy the BH Trendy in Tokyo. That's fantastic. If we're going to talk about a pastel palette, my top favorite definitely has to go to BH Cosmetics again with the Hey LA palette, or the Lost in Los Angeles palette. That one is the most beautiful, gorgeous, like pastel-y Oh, it's got such a beautiful mix of shimmers and mattes. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, definitely my favorite pastel palette for sure. And then if we're talking about ColourPop, makes my favorite like red based palette. They have that watermelon palette that is really, really good. Morphe has a couple of really cute kind of colorful palettes, but usually they come out with more of like the neutral stuff. I'm going to take this NYX Bear With Me setting spray and just kind of mist my face. Try to get some of this powder to really settle down. Give my face a little bit of moisture. Yeah, that helps so, so much. I'm going to take my beauty blender and kind of tap my face and really make sure everything is nice and even and pressed into the skin, really melted and uniform. Really, really gentle pressure with my beauty blender though. I don't want to press too hard and remove all that hard work that I just did. So, so beautiful. My base looks stunning. Very, very pretty. We're going to go in with this lipstick and then we are going to be done. I know that this is a super, super long video and I'm so, so sorry, guys. But, you know, my talking videos usually are. We're going to go in with this LA Girl Velvet Matte lipstick in the shade Giggle. Look at how beautiful this color is. It matches absolutely perfectly. And beautiful. I love this color. I didn't use a lip liner today just because I didn't feel like I really needed one. my voice is leaving me because I've been sitting here screaming at you guys for an hour. But this is our look for today. What do we think? Do we like it? Do we love it? Would we wear it? Let me take my hair clips out and show you guys the finished look. I think it is so, so pretty. I am so, so in love with it. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you guys are into these videos where I just kind of sit here and just chill out with you and talk to you guys and you know, if you like these tag videos, please let me know in the comments below. I really would love any kind of suggestions you guys have, what you want to see, what you would like to see from me next, any constructive criticism as well. I'm definitely here to make content that you guys want to see. So anything that, any kind of input that you guys have is extremely, extremely valuable. Guys, please know that I never use any edits, no filters, or fancy lighting. I have a couple of small ring lights here that I got from Walmart, and I film on my iPhone, so it's really not like I'm doing anything super special. I'm just sitting here talking about makeup, playing with makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. As always, I will have everything I used in today's video in the description box below, along with a link to my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama. And on my page, I will have a pictorial for how to do this eye look, step-by-step pictures with descriptions in the description boxes of each picture. So if you guys are interested to figure out how I did this eye look, please head on over there and check that out. That is going to be it for me today and the colorful makeup tag. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please know that I love you so, 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 so very much. I know your time is precious and I'm so grateful that you choose to spend it with me. Until next time, guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye, babes.